بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. طيب, inshallah ta'ala, we'll continue our discussion on the diseases of the heart, or the disease causers in the heart. And inshallah ta'ala, this will be the last segment on this phase, because as we spoke about previously, that when the heart is ill, there are two phases that we have to follow in order to bring about its health. And we said that the first phase was that we have to remove those aspects which are causing its disease. And then the second thing is we have to treat the heart with those things which will make it well. And so we've been talking about those disease causers, those things that we need to rid ourselves of. And we'll complete that segment, inshallah ta'ala, today with a handful, a collection, jumla min al-amrad, a collection of some of the disease causes or diseases. And the first one that I'll mention here, ya akhwani, is the disease of keeping bad company. The disease of having bad companions. Brothers and sisters, a person, if they associate with people who are sinful, people who are wicked, people who are immoral, people who they themselves have diseased hearts, if you associate with people like this, you will continue to be influenced by them until your actions resemble their actions and your heart resembles their hearts. And the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned this in the hadith collected by Abu Dawood and Tirmidhi on the authority of Abu Hurairah, the hadith in which he said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, al-mar'u ala dini khalili falyanzur ahadukum man yukhalil. A person will follow the faith, the religion, the way of life of his closest companion, so that each and every one of you be careful with whom he associates. Wallahi, هذا الحديث حديث عظيم جدا. It's a very great hadith, a very meaningful hadith, and it is a fundamental principle in the deen of Islam, that you are what your friends are. As Ibn Mas'ud used to say, al-mar'u bi khadani. A person is what his friends are. Look around you. You want to know who you are? Look at the people with whom you associate. That's who you are. And this is critical because what you find is that when you associate with certain people, and they're not the people of goodness, whenever you want to do good, they'll discourage you. They'll always discourage you. Yalla ya akhwan, let's go to the masjid. Oh, come on, it's far away. When we get there, everyone will be gone. And besides, they never pray on time. They're always late, and we have things to do. We can just pray here. It's probably more of us here than in the masjid. They'll discourage you from doing the good thing. You know, man, we need to get rid of these credit cards. We should just cut them up, man. It's bad. The Sheikh just gave a talk about riba. Yeah, the Sheikh doesn't know anything. The Sheikh, he's not, up with the times. He's not keeping with, look, people can't survive nowadays without credit. And they'll discourage you from what? Doing the good thing. Whatever the good thing is, they'll always have a reason why you shouldn't do it. But then suppose someone makes a suggestion to do something haram, to do something which is not legal in the deen. They'll have all kind of excuses why you should do it, why you should go for it. Just jump right in. And they'll almost make you feel bad for not wanting to what? To sin. These are the people, these so-called friends, are in reality our enemies. And if we don't realize it now, we will certainly realize it in the hereafter. But the sad thing is, if we realize it then, it'll be too late. يقول الله تبارك وتعالى الأخلاء يومئذ بعضهم لبعض عدو إلا المتقين. He says, friends on that day will be foes, enemies to one another, except the pious and God-fearing. Those friends are going to be your enemies. You're going to hate them and despise them, and they're going to hate you on the day of judgment, unless what? The friends you had were what? The pious people. Those are the people who what? That friendship will what? Remain on the day of judgment. And you'll be pleased and happy that what? You associated with them. Allah, He also says, وَيَوْمَ يَعَضُّ الظَّالِمُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ يَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِ اتَّخَذْتُ مَعَ الرَّسُولِ سَبِيلًا يَا وَيْلَتَى لَيْتَنِي لَمْ أَتَّخِذْ فُلَانًا خَلِيلًا لَقَدْ أَضَلَّنِي عَنِ الذِّكْرِ بَعْدَ إِذْ جَاءَنِي وَكَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ لِلْإِنسَانِ خَذُولًا. He says, and call to remembrance the day when the wrongdoer will bite at his hands in regret and say, oh, would that I had taken a path with the messenger. Ah, woe to me! Would that I had never taken so-and-so as a friend. He most certainly led me astray after the reminder had reached me. And the shaitan is ever a betrayer and will always desert man in the hour of need. Now, as a solution to this problem, I want to digress qalilan. Many people, they'll say, well, the solution to this problem is we should just what? Associate with what? Muslims. We should just associate with what? Ahl masjid. I'll bring my wife to the masjid and she can what? Interact with sisters in the masjid, and this will protect her. And I'll come to the masjid, interact with the brothers in the masjid, and that will protect me. And this seems, ya ikhwani, on the surface like an easy fix. But the sad thing is that you have some Muslims who are what? They're a bad influence. And they'll corrupt. They'll corrupt. The sad thing, ya ikhwan, is as they say, misery loves company. And some Muslims are miserable. They're just miserable people. They're people who what? They're negative people, and they exude negativity. And if you're not careful, they'll what? They'll affect you with their negativity. So for example, you have some people, ya ikhwan, who all they can do is find fault with everyone and everything. And when you sit with them, all they can do is what? Say, oh, this person doesn't do this, and these people don't do that, and these people don't come to the masjid. They don't make salat al-fajr. We're the people for fajr. But this same person doesn't come for what? Maghrib and Isha. And he might come for fajr once or twice a week. And because of that one day of fajr, he's the best of what? The Muslims. And everybody else is the worst. And every time you speak with him, it's what? These people don't do this, and these people don't do that. And the negativity, you just feel like a heavy weight bringing you down. Another example, ya ikhwan, and I don't want to pick on sisters, but lil-asaf. For example, sisters have a tendency to what? To complain about what? Their husbands. Complain about their lifestyle and the way they live. And this is not good for women to what? To complain about their husbands, because sometimes what happens is that you have a woman who, her household situation is what? It's pretty good. And the good definitely outweighs the bad. But if she sits with sisters who are always complaining about every little thing, she'll start to say, yeah, we don't have that. Yeah, my husband doesn't do that. And she starts to forget about what? All the things that they do have. And all the things that he does do. And it can cause problems between what? Husband and wife that never existed. And never would have existed if she hadn't associated with what? Fulana and Fulana. So this is the thing too, ya ikhwan. Even with the Muslims, we have to be what? We have to be careful to take care. And we have to be, we have to be mindful. Always have our guard up that what? Is this the type of person I want to be like? We're always asking ourselves that. And we can't stop asking that question just because we're associating with Muslims. Is this the type of Muslim I want to be like? Another disease, ya ikhwan, is kathrat al-dahik. Is excessive laughter. Wallahi, ya ikhwan, Islam is not a deen of monasticism. It's not a deen of sadness. It's not a deen that tells us that we can't laugh and have fun, especially with what? With one's wife and one's children. Definitely doesn't discourage us to be what? To let our hair down and have fun with them. So don't make a mistake. But sometimes what happens is that people become excessively what? Given to what? Fun and games. Their life is dominated by what? Jocularity, laughter, joking, and not being serious. And this is where what? The problem comes in. This is where the heart can be what? Affected. As the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, لا تكثر من الضحك فإن كثرة الضحك تميت القلب. He said in the hadith, وحسنه الألباني رحمه الله تعالى, he said, do not laugh excessively. Don't be the person who what? You laugh a lot. Because excessive laughter kills the heart. بخلاف أي شيء كثرة البكاء. The one who contemplates the reality of himself, the reality of the day of judgment when we meet Allah, he contemplates these things and he causes him to what? To weep, to feel sad, to feel sorrow. This is something which is good and gives life to the heart. As the Prophet used to say, لو تعلمون ما أعلم. If only you knew what I know. لضحكتم قليلا ولبكيتم كثيرا. He said, if you knew what I knew, you would what? Laugh little and cry much. Another disease is the disease of pride and arrogance. Being proud, being haughty, considering yourself superior to others, looking down on others, and rejecting the truth because you feel yourself above the law, or because the truth doesn't suit your desires. And the Prophet spoke about this in the hadith of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. He said, لا يدخل الجنة من كان في قلبه مثقال ذرة من كبر. He said, no person will enter into paradise who has a mustard seed's weight of pride in his heart. Come on, mustard seed's weight, ikhwan. Mustard seed's weight will keep you out of what? Paradise. فقال رجل من القوم. So a man from amongst the people, he said, يا رسول الله إن الرجل يحب أن يكون ثوبه حسنا ونعله حسنا. He said, but O Messenger of Allah, a man likes to what? To wear nice clothing and wear nice shoes. He's thinking that this is what the Prophet means when he said arrogance and pride. So the Prophet, he said, إن الله جميل يحب الجمال. Allah is beautiful and He loves that you what? Beautify yourselves. This is not arrogance. ولكن الكبر بطر الحق. بطر الحق. I'm sorry. He said, but rather, pride is when you reject the truth. وغمط الناس. And you look down upon the people. You consider yourself superior to others. It's a great disease, ya ikhwan. We have to work. We have to really try our best to what? To root it out of our hearts. Never feel that you are superior to others. If you're more pious than others, then say to yourself, this is a person who sins and Allah is going to what? Going to forgive his sins. Or Allah is going to what? Have mercy on him. Allah is going to what? He's going to turn to Allah and Allah is going to what? Fulfill that promise. The promise to what? To forgive sins. And if you are, if there is a pious person, then what? You look at the person, you say, oh, I wish I was like that. I wish I was as good as him. But never consider yourself better than anyone. Another disease is the disease of duplicity. The disease of two-facedness, what they call dhul-wajhayn, right? And this is the what? The root of what? The greater disease, which is what? An-nifaq, hypocrisy. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said in the hadith, collected by Bukhari, Muslim, authority of Hurairah, he said, وَتَجِدُونَ شَرَّ النَّاسِ ذَا الْوَجْهَيْنِ. He said, and you find the worst of people is the one who has two faces. الَّذِي يَأْتِي هَؤُلَاءِ بِوَجْهٍ وَيَأْتِي إِلَى هَؤُلَاءِ بِوَجْهٍ. He said the worst of people, the most evil and wicked of people is the one who has two faces. He comes to these people with one face, comes to these people with what? Another face. Yeah, Ikhwan, we can't do that. We can't do that. We have to understand that what this is a sign of what? The heart being diseased. When who I am depends on what? On the vessel in which I find myself. If I'm with the liberals, I'm liberal. If I'm with the conservatives, I'm conservative. If I'm with the people who are good, they're okay with elections, I'm okay with elections. If I'm with people who are against it, I'm against it. Like a chameleon. Depending on what? The shade of the trees and leaves around me, that's what? That's the color I'm going to take on. La yakhwan. The deen is what? The deen is one. And we need to what? Be the people who what? We have one face, we have one understanding, we have one approach. And Ibn Umar, he used to say, كُنَّا نُعُدُّ هَذَا نِفَاقًا عَلَى أَهْدِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ. When people do this, we consider it what? Hypocrisy. We consider it what? A form of hypocrisy. And Ibn Mas'ud, he used to say, إِيَّاكُمْ وَتَلَوُّنْ فِي الدِّينِ فَإِنَّ دِينَ اللَّهِ وَاحِدٌ. He used to say, beware of what? Changing colors when it comes to your religion. Because the religion of Allah is one. طيب ثم بعد ذلك we'll close with one last disease causer, and that is the disease of envy and jealousy. Envy and jealousy. بالعربي نقول الحسد. الحسد. ها؟
الغيرة والحسد.
الغيرة is different though. Jealousy and envy would be what? You're saying because we have two terms. أحسنت الله يجزاك خير. Okay, جزاك الله خير. طيب, so envy and jealousy, الغيرة والحسد. And what is this hasad? It is تمني زوال النعمة عن الغير سواء أكانت النعمة في الدنيا أو في الدين. Al-hasad is when you hope, you wish that some favor, some bounty which has come to someone, you wish that what? It will be taken away from them. You wish this. And it doesn't matter if that ni'mah is related to the dunya, to the world, or to the deen, the religion. If you wish that this person didn't have that thing, that's what? That's al-hasad. And this is a disease that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned. He said, إِيَّاكُمْ وَالْحَسَدِ. He said, beware of envy. فَإِنَّ الْحَسَدِ يَأْكُلُ الدِّينِ. يَأْكُلُ الْحَسَنَاتِ. He said, beware of envy. Because envy, it eats your rewards. It eats the reward for your good deeds. كَمَا تَأْكُلُ النَّارِ الْحَطَبِ. Just like fire eats what? Dry wood. It just eats up your good deeds. When you have this envy and this feeling that what? This thing shouldn't have happened to so-and-so. So-and-so doesn't deserve this. So for example, brother so-and-so, he shouldn't have got that job. Doesn't even mean that what? He thinks he should have gotten it. But he thinks what? So-and-so shouldn't have got it. And so-and-so, he shouldn't have married fulana. But rather he should have married what? Allana. طيب, خلاص. So he shouldn't have married so-and-so, he should have married what? Such and such. Or even he should have married what? He should have married me. This type of hasad. The person is what? They're bitter, they're angry because what? So-and-so got something that they didn't get. This not only does it eat your hasanat, it's what? A disease in the heart. Which it corrupts the heart and makes the person behave in a way which is what? Not befitting. They conduct themselves in a way which is not what? Which is not acceptable. And also, it's an indication of what? A weakness in what? A person's aqidah. كيف ذلك? How is it an indication of a person's, the weakness of their understanding or their belief? Because when you say, such and such is not entitled to this, they shouldn't have got it. You're questioning what? You're questioning the decree of Allah. The qadr. هذا لم ينبغي يكون. It shouldn't have been like this. It should have been like this. As if Allah's decree is what? Wrong, and your decree is correct. وهذا خطأ يا إخواني. So we have to understand that another dangerous disease is what? Al-hasad. I don't care what people want, what people have. I don't care what people get in this world. Whatever they get is from Allah's decree, and I'm pleased with Allah's what? Decree. We have to think like this, and that's an indication of what? The purity of a person's heart. And that the person's heart is in harmony with Allah's deen, that they love what Allah loves and decrees, and they hate what Allah what? Hates and what? And is displeased with. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.
What? Two.
Any questions, comments, or complaints going once?
Yeah, I have a small. Do you have the takhrij for this hadith? إياكم والحسد.
عندي.
For some reason that.
It was collected by Abu Dawood on Thursday Abu Hurairah. Abu Dawood. On Thursday Abu Hurairah. Are you questioning its authenticity?
Yeah.
Okay. خلاص, take it.
You see, my memory is not that.
No, but.
Yeah. So inshallah, if you don't mind, double check it.
Check it. I can check it if you want.
Yeah,
If
I
you
have
give
my
me-
phone recording on my bed, so both of my tools is.
طيب لا في شيء.
بارك الله فيك. Anybody have a question, comments, correction? Anybody have news, views, anything about the community?
Okay, so
تفضل شيخ.
so in these diseases of the heart, what would you instruct the believers to do as a solution?
So that's what we're going to do when we start next week.
Okay.
We're going to start talking about what al-mu'alaja. We're talking about treating now. So we've mentioned all these different diseases, and now, okay, what do we do about them? You know, how do we treat each one of them? That's what we're going to start next week, inshallah. بارك الله فيك يا شيخ.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. إياك.
I think it's إياكم.
إياكم.
If I'm not mistaken.
It could be إياكم إياكم.
Doesn't matter, it's then.
We'll do it your way.
No, it's not my way.
I'm just joking with you, Sheikh. إياكم والحسد. إياكم والحسد. لأن الحسد تخريج.
No.
وعليكم السلام. تخريج. السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله. Let's see. And ضعفه الألباني.
أحسنت.
But that's not in the conversation, you see.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay. Like
Is it
ضعفه
sufficient?
الألباني.
Is sufficient for me?
Let's see. Let's see what they say. Yeah. IG. Well, you got me on that one, Sheikh.
No, okay,
Allah is
I think it's المؤمن مرآة أخيه لا
And you know
أكثر.
that, and you know that I'm pretty particular about this, man. Subhanallah.
جزاك الله خير.
You got me on that one.
Thank you. No, أخي, it's not about get me
No,
or
you
get.
understand what I mean, though. You understand what I mean. I hate to do that, man. I'm really particular about
No
that.
problem. جزاك الله
That one
خير.
slip by.
Thank you very much.
But
May Allah reward you.
It just looks from the out.
And
from
we
the outset.
appreciate, you understand, your presence, your talk, and your contribution. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us all on the sunnah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us assistant for one another for His sake.
I mean, yeah, it looks like. طيب الله يجزاك خير.
بارك الله فيك. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد